We got injury updates on Terrion Arnold and Derrik Barnes. It is good news. We're going to get into that part of Detroit Lions news and information. Going to break that down for you. We'll do injury updates on the whole team, and we're going to get that. Also, we're going to talk about observations in today in practice. It got feisty. Let's get after it. We love our Detroit Lions, and I do all Lions news on here. So if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Why is that? Because I drop Lions content, and, you know, that's what this channel is all about, trying to get to that magic number of 86,000. Let's get into the Lions positive news here on the injury front, because guess what? Terrion Arnold did get hurt in practice. What is it known for? It is known as a calf strain. So it's nothing big right now. It's a calf strain. It's something that the Lions will slowly deal with and monitor, per insider Jordan Schultz. That's what he says. It plans to be cautious before putting him back on the field. And Derrik Barnes should be fine. So that's really good for our two players here, because as soon as they got injured, everybody knows, oh my goodness, you know, here we go again with the injuries, right? Here we go. Even I had to do a live stream. It's just been devastating to the Detroit Lions defense, as this team is just riddled with injuries, from Levi Onwuzurike, Joshua Pascal, dinged up from Roy Lopez, and just the list goes on. Sione Vaki. I mean, we have just been kind of gutted here. And so it's good that it doesn't look to be serious. It's freaking positive news. Go ahead again and subscribe to the channel. We're dropping news and rumors every single day, trying to get to the magic number of 86,000 subscribers. Let's get into this bad boy right now. Safety Eric Hallett Jr. had the biggest play on Thursday's practice for the defense, stepping up in front of Jared Goff, pass intended for wide receiver Jameson Williams, along the right sideline on cornerbacker, taking it out to the house to a defensive score. Hallett has had a nice start to camp, trying to battle for a raw spot at that number 4 safety. Defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard has put the emphasis on creating negative plays and turnovers. Along with the interception, his defense has forced a fumble later in practice. It is good to see. Glasgow was at center, so that was Tate Ratledge has taken most of the reps at center with the first team offense. The first 3 days of camp, but on Thursday, it was Graham Glasgow taking all those reps, while Ratledge played right guard with the first team. Run game coordinator and offensive line coach Jake Fraley cross-trains his players up front a lot. He's trying to find the best 5 combination before ending camp. We'll see if Ratledge is back at center on Friday. This is something I've been talking about for a little bit. Don't get too concerned in regards to, you know, how they do that. They switch back and forth. This is something that they do. This is quite normal for sure. Let's continue on. Third-year running back Jahmyr Gibbs has been part of the passing game in Detroit's 52 receptions each of his first 2 seasons. But don't be surprised if he has catches more this season. In John Warren's offense, he has been using a lot in the passing game the first 4 days of camp, and it took short passes in the team period late in Thursday's practice, and he took it to the house. Jared Goff is looking his way, and he is doing it, and that's what it's all about, man. He's looking his way, he's getting it done, and they're getting after it. I tell you what, though, what about the edge position and the defensive line? 2 edge rushers who've had caught the eye the last couple of days is Nate Lynn and Isaac Ukwu. Both players have played a lot in the offensive backfields and has flashed good rush ability. The depth behind Aidan Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport is still a little bit up in the grabs. Those are 2 names to keep a close eyes on when the practice hits. Pads come on tomorrow and preseason next week. My concern is they're showing decent right now, but we've seen a lot of this on the field. We'll see what happens in preseason. A lot of these guys like Isaac Ukwu, they flashed last year in training camp as well. Like, you see these guys, they flash in training camp and they're doing great there, but when the lights come on, they tend to not be as good. Isaac Hooker was one of those last year. We'll see if he can bring his game up in preseason. We want to see that. We want to see that development because we do need help at that pass rush position, right? We do need help there opposite of Aidan Hutchinson. Why is that? Well, because Marcus Davenport's opposite of Aidan Hutchinson right now, and we're just hoping he can stay healthy to be with the Lions for 17 weeks and more into the postseason. That is why, even though he's had a freaking amazing camp so far, that is Marcus Davenport. He's been probably the player of camp. And why I believe he could do it on the field is because he's done it on the field before. It's not his ability, it's his availability. Again, before we continue on here with the observations, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 86,000. Your help, it can happen. Let's continue on here. Head coach Dan Campbell loves versatile players. An 8-year veteran defensive back, Avonte Maddox, is proven to be just that for Detroit's defense. He nearly had an interception playing the number 3 safety role in early in team period with a few plays later at the cornerback position. He made a nice play against the sideline. The Lions can use him at both safety, cornerback, much like they do Brian Branch, and having a number of those players and individuals working throughout the season. Let me talk about, how about Mr. Jake Bates here? He did pretty good. Mr. Jake Bates was 6 for 8 and made a he missed 2 53-yarders, but he made everything else. So the special teams, he had a better day out there, and we're always got to talk a little bit about the special teams, right? We always got to do that. Let's continue and talk about the feistiness that ended camp or practice early. What? It was Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brian Branch hitting St. Brown and Brian Branch going hard, and Brian Branch just laying the wood down, and those guys were absolutely going after it. And so this is 2 days in a row of this occurring, and so the Detroit Lions, they are feisty, and the pads come on tomorrow, and I know they are ready to have those pads on and get after it. But we need these guys to not just always be in fighting mode and trying to hurt each other, right? We got to be sensible about this, right? We got to be sensible about this and how they want to practice and not try to crush each other's bodies before week 1 when we take on the Green Bay Packers. And before I continue on, how about we continue to talk about what's going on over there in Chicago? They're having a disaster of training camp so far, and it's been glorious to see. Unlike our offense has been having a really good training camp, and apparently I wonder if Ben Johnson is starting to regret the decision from going from Detroit to Chicago. And I'm starting to wonder if Chicago Bears fans are a little bit worried about Ben Johnson and how that is taking place. But right now it feels like the Lions are perfectly fine, and the Bears are not perfectly fine. So it looks like Detroit is the one that's doing it. Well, that was your update on Lions practice today. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. With that said, folks, adios.